Hi guys, the One Integral here and welcome back to Pokemon Origins, Myths and Mysteries. This episode might be a little bit shorter than the others. I'm not sure if I want to make lots of small episodes or some longer ones with multiple theories in. As always, I would love your thoughts on that, and I'm sure you know the drill with that by now. Another quick note before we begin this episode: as some of you may know, today marks the beginning of ME Awareness Week. If you don't know, ME is a significantly debilitating medical condition that's characterised by persistent fatigue. Now, obviously, this week is to raise awareness on it, and I'm going to leave an annotation on screen now and a link down below to some people I know who kind of, raise money for it and stuff. So be sure to check that out and donate money if you can, or just help them out any way you can. So let's get on with this, shall we, guys? War. War never changes. The Romans waged war to gather slaves and wealth. Spain built an empire from its lust for gold and territory. Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes. The French leader Napoleon once said, "A soldier will fight long and hard for a bit of coloured ribbon." Replace a bit of coloured ribbon with gym badges or the title of league champion, and I'm sure we can all relate to that. Now, Pokemon and war are not two words that would be considered particularly synonymous, but today we're going to take a look at the theory that paints a somewhat darker picture of the Pokemon world, or at least the Kanto region, and is a stark contrast to the usual bright, pastel, colourful universe we are used to. Let's delve a little deeper into the theory of the Poké War. Now, aside from a couple of coincidences and little hints that could hint towards this being true, there isn't much in the way of hard evidence to back this theory up. Our main source of information is from Lieutenant Surge, who, when speaking to in the games, offers up a unique twist to the Pokeverse. He says, "Hey kid, what do you think you're doing here? You won't live long in combat, that's for sure. I'll tell you what, kid, electric Pokemon saved me during the war." Now, the information that we can gather from this is that at some point, somewhere, at some time, there was a war that involved Pokemon. That is the main bulk of the evidence, but I shall now explain a few of the smaller coincidences also contributing towards the legitimacy of this theory. So think back to the last time you played Pokemon. The vast majority of trainers that you faced wandering around in the wilderness were children. There were plenty of elderly men and women in the world, Professor Oak being an example, and also many middle-aged women, the nurses and your mum being two of them. But there is a seeming lack of middle-aged men. What about your father, or your rival's father? Where are they at? Lieutenant Surge mentions being a survivor of some sort of brutal war that almost took his life, and it's believed that the other trainers in the gym that he owns were once soldiers in an army, which as most armies do, for fighting a war. A war where Pokemon were used as weapons. Now, as we have proved with the Origins series, at times the scaling of the Pokemon does tend to be a little bit off with what we have seen in the anime. And some of you have pointed out in the comments that you are as tall as, or indeed taller than guys such as Charizard or Blastoise. I don't know about you, but the thought of trying to storm a beach held down by goddamn Charizard scares the life out of me, no matter how tall they may be. My point here being that this war has been speculated to cause a generation kill, that the young children of the Kanto region are the first generation to find peace. This could explain why both your father and your rival's father and most middle-aged men are missing, as they may have sadly died. One thing that has also always baffled me in the Pokemon games is how fresh water can cost more and heal more than a potion, an item designed for healing. This could be due to the war, much like in Fallout 3, where the water is irradiated or contaminated, and fresh water is a luxury only a few can afford. Now, we're not 100% sure where TMs come from, but a possible suggestion is that they were engineered as a means of warfare. They enabled Pokemon to learn more powerful moves and complicated movesets to give them an edge over the opposition. As I mentioned before, there are a few little things that sort of help with this, but mostly they just happen to coincide with this theory and don't really offer up much. But if you wish to read about them, I will post a link in the description to the Reddit page where I saw some of this information. So you do think that this is something that Game Freak may shed more light on in a future game? Would you honestly want to hear about a war which could well have involved one of your beloved Pokemon? Thinking about it, we have never really been told if Pokemon have a lifespan, and without knowing the date of the Poké War, it is more than possible that your current team could have been alive and fighting around the time of the war. A quick note before I wrap this up: a lot of you commented asking for the Cubo and Kangaskhan theory. That is coming very soon. We've had a few problems with writing it, but don't worry, your voices have been heard and that will be an episode in the near future. As for now, comment, subscribe so you don't miss any of these episodes, and keep telling me what you think. I choose what episodes we do based on your comments, and which episodes end up in the top comment spot and get a lot of likes. So if someone comments, "Hey, do this theory," and you want to see it, like that comment to get to the top. Thanks for watching, and I will be back soon with more myths and mysteries. Goodbye guys.